Hello everyone, we're having story time this afternoon. We have Yaakov Rabhan with us today. He's going to be our story time partner. And the story for today is Farfalina and Marcel. And it's by Holly Keller. That's the author. That's the lady who wrote it. And this means it won an award. It's such a good book. So this lady wrote a story about a caterpillar.
I know that means award.
The caterpillar's name is Farfalina. And the bird's name is Marcel. And they have a problem. They're both changing in this story. And I'm wondering how they're going to change and how it's going to impact their friendship. So we're going to find out what the problem is.
Wait, they keep on changing to different animals?
Well, we're going to see. Let's find out what the problem is going to be. The rain fell all morning, and it splattered on the pond and splashed on Farfalina's leaf. She found a dry spot on it, and she began to eat it, because that's what caterpillars do. "Hey," said a little voice, "you're eating my umbrella." Farfalina peered over the edge of the leaf. Peered means to look. Can you say peered?
Peered.
Peered. We're going to peer over the edge of our couch. We'll look over the edge. Farfalina peered over the edge, and a small gray bird was huddled underneath.
I saw the duck.
Farfalina liked his soft feathers and his gentle eyes. He seemed nice. "I'm Farfalina," she said, and she slid down to the ground. "My name is Marcel." And he liked Farfalina's smile and her pretty colors. So I'm wondering if they're going to make friends. They seem to like each other so far. The rain turned to drizzle and Farfalina wanted to play. "I'll hide and you find me," she said. Marcel agreed. Agreed means he liked the idea. He said, "Yeah, let's do that." Farfalina hid under a fern, there's the fern leaf, close to the ground because she knew that Marcel couldn't climb. Caterpillars can climb, right? But birds can't. "Now I'll hide," said Marcel when he found her, and he hid right behind the tree because he knew that Farfalina moved very slowly. He didn't go far away. "I can take you for a ride on the pond," Marcel said, and Farfalina inched her way up onto Marcel's back.
It's the duck.
"You tickle," he said, because can you imagine having a caterpillar crawling up onto your back? That would tickle. And Marcel slipped into the water with Farfalina on his back, and Farfalina giggled. You know, giggles like a little laugh.
Why? Because if you're on a duck's back, it tickles?
That's right. So she giggled. "There's so much to see," she said. Can you imagine what an adventure for a caterpillar to be out on the water on a bird's back? I bet you she never did such a thing before. That was unfamiliar to her. That's something you didn't do before is unfamiliar. Farfalina and Marcel played together every day. They liked the same games and they liked each other. But one day, Farfalina was not herself. "I'm not sick," she told Marcel. "I'm just a little uncomfortable." That means she didn't feel quite right. She was uncomfortable. Like if somebody squeezes you too tight, it feels a little uncomfortable. Can you say uncomfortable?
Uncomfortable.
Yeah. So she's just a little uncomfortable. "I need to climb up onto a branch and rest for a little while." "I'll wait for you," Marcel said. As Farfalina made her way up the tree, Marcel watched until Farfalina was completely out of sight. She went so high in the tree, couldn't even see her. Then he settled himself down in the grass and waited. I wonder if he was being patient. He's patiently waiting. Patience was our theme this week. That means when you can wait without getting too upset about it, you're being patient. Night came, and then morning, but Farfalina didn't come back down. Marcel called to her, but she didn't answer. And he was very worried, and he was terribly lonely. Lonely is when you're all by yourself.
But why?
That's the big question. I wonder why she's not coming back down. That's a good question, Yaakov. Weeks went by. A lot of time. The afternoons grew longer and warmer, and Marcel went to the pond. He was growing. And when he looked at his reflection in the water, the reflection is when you can see yourself in water.
I know.
You want to be patient with me? Some of the kids that are watching the video might not know what the reflection means. He hardly recognized himself. He didn't look the same as he used to look. I wonder what's happening. Is he changing? He went back to the tree every day to look for Farfalina, but she was never there. And after a while, he gave up. He stopped looking for her. At the top of the tree, Farfalina was snuggled in a blanket of glossy silk. She's so tiny in the book. Can you see it?
Yeah.
She's very tiny. If I She was growing too, and I wonder if Farfalina was in a chrysalis, a cocoon. Maybe she was getting ready to turn into a butterfly. Is that why she's taking so long coming down? The sky was blue and clear in the morning. She was ready to come out and open her beautiful new wings. There she is, coming out of her cocoon. She had no idea how long she'd been up there, and she floated down to find Marcel. "I'll just wait," said Farfalina when she didn't see him, and she sat on a flower. Now she was going to have to be patient and wait for Marcel. And I wonder where he went now. He got tired of waiting. He was impatient after a while. Night came and then morning, but Marcel wasn't there. Farfalina was tired and confused. Confused is when you don't understand what's happening exactly. And she fluttered around a bit and went to the pond. The pond was glassy smooth, except for the ripples that were being made by a large, handsome goose who was swimming in solitary circles. Solitary means you're all by yourself. So he had solitary circles. Farfalina shivered with disappointment.
Was that a duck?
It's a goose. I wonder who that could be. I wonder if somebody else changed in this story. She went to the pond every day to look for the small gray bird named Marcel, but he never came. One morning, this goose stopped his silent rounds and he spoke to her. "You must like it here," he said. Farfalina fluttered a bit. "I've been waiting for a friend," she said softly, "but I don't think he'll come." And she's looking for her friend Marcel. Marcel liked her smile and her brilliant colors. "I know how you feel," he said. "I lost a friend too." 1 minute, Ziki, we're right in the middle of a story. She just vanished into thin air. Vanished is when you disappear. Farfalina liked his sleek feathers and his gentle eyes. "A ride around the pond might cheer you up," Marcel said. Farfalina thought it would, and she settled herself right down onto Marcel's back. But does she know that's Marcel?
No.
Does he know that it's Farfalina?
No.
No! I wonder if they're going to figure it out. "It's funny," Marcel said, "but I feel as though I've known you for a long time." "I was just thinking the same thing," said Farfalina. "My name is Farfalina. What's yours?" Marcel stopped suddenly. He beat the water with his strong wings, and then he swam around and around and around. "It's me, Farfalina," he shouted. "It's me, Marcel." "Is that really you?" Well, last time he saw her, she was a caterpillar. "It is," Farfalina shouted back. And they looked at each other and they laughed and laughed and laughed. By evening, they had explained everything. And they fell asleep, smiling at the stars. Look at them sleeping together like such good friends. They weren't lonely anymore. Farfalina and Marcel spent the rest of the summer playing just as they had before. Marcel was careful not to fly too fast because he knew that Farfalina couldn't keep up. And Farfalina didn't hide in the flowers,